Four black snakes.
They were big and that's selling rats and rakes up being bedded.
Yeah.
There must be some good stuff.
I dropped that tree, I don't know, I think I said up there probably better part of 2 weeks ago now, and it's just rained and stormed, and we came up here. Dad's got a mechanical thumb, I guess you call it, to put on the excavator. Got a family member who's gonna show up to weld it on there, so we just up there piddling around on the hill trying to cut some bushes and cut on that tree some. I got it all cut up except for the very top of it, and it was really steep and muddy out there where it was at, but probably won't be nothing too exciting in this. I may video Dad digging around on the excavator, may walk around a little and may video a little bit of the welding, but I'll try to put something together for you guys. Sunk out of sight. Meant to just put a little bitty cut and come up through the bottom. Rotten pine. I dropped this about 2 weeks ago now. It's 362C. saw, just didn't even know it was in that pine. Said thumb. We'll use that to pick up trees and bushes and stumps or whatever else we can pick up, I suppose. He had wanted one of those things for several years now, and a pretty good deal on that one. Still a pretty costly little machine. It's really low hour. I don't remember what was on it, but it's pretty low. Seemed every other piece of equipment he looked at was just worn out junk and overpriced, but this one seems to be pretty good. And if you ain't familiar with the channel, this is my great-grandparents' old homestead house. Is 100 years old. What's left of it, there's video on the channel if you want to look for it, where I'd shown where we tore the back half of it off a few years back. There's no studs and beams in those walls. It's just the boards, and then the inside of the boards are lined with like tongue and groove cedar or pine. Kind of crazy how strong it was. The lower foundation had rotted out and the roof was leaking. As while we tore the back half off, it was just pretty dang dangerous. But the rest of the house is kind of sound. But yeah, and about straight up there is where I was working on the pine. Maybe out that way a little further, but that's where the big oak is at that's down. Dad said back when he was a kid that all this was clear and there was a big barn out there. Don't exist anymore, but I've just been working on cleaning the place up for about the last 5 years. All of this was a swamp. If you remember the big pine that we milled up on the channel, it was actually about where this building's at and was actually laying on the house. There's video of him pulling what was left of it off of the house with the truck. And the big poplars we cut and milled up last year were right over there, but you couldn't even get in here 5 years ago. I came up with him to bush hog and work a little, and he had me put on snake leggings before we come over through here. It was that bad, but it came a long way, long way. That thing will do a lot of work in a short amount of time for its size. Pretty powerful. Put this fence in about this time last year, I guess. You can probably see it's about a football field long down through there. I think right at 300 feet, maybe a little further down to the end, but pretty good sized field. So we're gonna bring a cow up and put in it. And we got a thumb. We can lift logs now. Man, now it's raining. I'll try to put some kind of video together.